We have some beautiful plants on the table as well, right? So
Yes,
let's talk a little bit about
we do.
house plants, right?
Okay.
All right. So how do you want to start with that?
So this is a tropical plant house.
Okay.
But tropical plants make wonderful house plants because our home is a tropical place.
Yeah.
It stays warm, it doesn't get freezing.
Okay.
So a lot of the plants that come from tropical areas and we grow in tropical environments like this make the perfect house plants.
It's good to hear.
So I'm happy to talk to you about a few of those.
I know you are, right? All right.
This is one that I really like.
Okay.
This is called Pale Puma. This is one of our Tradescantias. Tradescantia is a large family. Lots
familiar
of
with that.
different garden plants and house plants come
Okay.
from the Tradescantia group. This is Pale Puma. It is a hybrid between Purple Heart or Purple Queen
Yeah, I'm familiar with that.
and one that's a more silvery one called the Cobweb Tradescantia.
Wow.
So this has kind of a combination of both of those. It's
Okay.
fuzzy, it's got some
Yeah,
little
I'm
white.
looking at that.
Yeah, little white fuzzy leaves, but it also has that deep purple of the Purple Heart or the Purple Queen. And it'll change a little bit depending how much light it's in.
Okay.
So if you have it in a full light window, full sun, where it's getting all west southern sun,
Okay.
it's gonna get deep purple like this.
Nice.
You can see underneath the leaves,
it's
it's
beautiful.
super,
Yeah.
super purple as
Sure
well.
is. Wow. Okay.
And it's textured, it's kind of fun if you have kids or grandkids in the house, nice to pet as well.
Nice to pet.
Yeah, and it will start out as a concise little plant, and it grows steadily and quickly. Eventually, it will trail,
Okay.
so it can trail down out of the side of a container.
All right.
And it's pretty forgiving to low light as well. If it's in low light, it'll just turn into a paler green, maybe a little more of a pale lime green, little bit more of those white fuzzies exposed.
Okay.
But it's very, very forgiving.
I like that, forgiving.
Right.
Okay. So
And-
either way it goes, its characteristics depending on the light conditions. Okay.
Yeah, for sure. And you may see it change over the summer when it's getting more light. You may see it get darker, more purple. Over the winter inside, it's going to get a little more pale,
Okay.
and that's okay. It'll
Yeah, that's fine.
change back. It will trail. It doesn't need a lot of water. This is one that likes to. You can kind of guess by how fleshy the stems are, that it does like to dry out.
Gotcha.
In between watering. So water it well, and then wait a week or two. Let the top of the soil get a little more dry before you water it again. It doesn't want to get waterlogged.
Good. Yeah, I think a lot of us, when we're watering our house plants, we tend to care too much for them.
Yes,
right?
I think that's often an issue with people who struggle with houseplants. It's just a little too much care, a little too much water, especially over the winter.
Sure.
So this is another Tradescantia.
Okay.
Looks very different. Looks a lot brighter. This is called the turtle vine, and this is the golden turtle vine.
Golden. Okay.
The turtle vine most of us are familiar with are a deep green with also kind of purple backsides. This one is a special variety that's a bright gold.
Okay.
And the more shade it's in, the more gold
All right.
it'll get. It gets really beautiful in a shady environment. This will grow very quickly. You may actually need to up pot it pretty
Wow.
quickly,
Okay.
which is a good thing because then you can divide it and share it with friends.
Okay.
Give it away as gifts.
Yeah, that's good.
And this likes quite a bit of water.
So it likes
Yeah,
water. Okay.
it does like water. It wants to dry out a little bit in between waterings, but it does like a lot, as in it doesn't want to sit in water. It
Gotcha.
can rot if it sits in water, but regular water is going to be good choice. Good choice for that one.
Good deal.
Let's switch over to, this is a Bromeliad.
Yeah. I like
And-
bromeliads.
Yes, popular because of how bright they are, how bright and pretty those flowers are. And you'll see a lot of them here in our tropical plant house. This one, the red part is actually the bract, and the flowers themselves are the yellow part
About to have
that come out. So it's in bloom for a while because you have this red bract for many, many weeks, and it takes a while as these little yellow pieces
Yeah.
start to come out bit
Okay.
by bit. So
And they come out of each one of the bracts.
Yes, they
Gotcha.
do.
Okay.
So it stays colorful for a real long time. And some people struggle with how to take care of their bromeliads.
Okay.
It's really not that hard. You water them directly into the center pitcher, just kind of like a cup. Water them into the cup
Like this one?
of
Okay.
those leaves.
All right.
And you don't have to worry so much about if the soil stays wet, because that water is going to trickle down through the leaves and into the soil, and that's going to be enough for it. But pretty much keep
cool.
water in those cups.
Okay. That is pretty cool.
They are. It's a neat plant.
All right.
So ferns.
Ah.
Ferns are also tropical, good popular tropical houseplants. We have a lot of Terrestrial ferns as well that need to stay outside.
Okay.
But our ferns from tropical places do make good houseplants. Some are a little fussier than others. This is one that I like. This is a button fern, and it seems to thrive really well in just regular indoor conditions. It does like humidity, which
So it does. Okay.
I find helps if you keep it close to other houseplants because they're going to be moist as well, and that just helps them all share the humidity.
Okay. All right.
Now, so we just mentioned ferns needing humidity. If you definitely don't have much humidity in your house, you need something that prefers a drier environment. Succulents are going to be for you.
Okay.
This is a succulent called a devil's backbone,
That's a cool name.
right?
Yeah.
It's called that because it has crooked stems, like you might imagine a crooked devil's backbone.
Okay.
This is the variegated. It has variegated white and green leaves, a little bit of pink to them. This is a plant you could set outside in the summer, even on a sunny patio, and it'll do great. It'll do great. It might burn a little bit as it adjusts to light for the first time, but then it'll grow excellently after that. I have a number of these that I put outside in the summer.
So
in their
even in our
pots.
hot summer sun?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Maybe give it a few days to adjust as you move it closer to the full sun.
Right.
But then it can sit in full sun
that's good.
in a pot all summer out on your patio.
Okay.
And these can get fairly large. They can get 2 to 3 feet tall
that's
and
fair
wide
size.
with time.
Okay.
We've got a couple nice ones here in the glass house and a couple big ones that we put outside in the summer. Really easy to take cuttings from too.
Okay.
Easy to propagate plant.
Wow. So even in the sun, it still maintains the variegated leaves.
Oh yeah, and it'll get a little bit more of the pink
Okay.
in
Good.
that full sun.
It's good. It's good.
So, actually,
Can you get that?
yeah,
Right.
since I just mentioned succulents,
Yeah.
I like succulents. There's so many shapes and sizes and colors. This is an aloe. This is an aloe hybrid. This is called the White Fox miniature aloe,
I like it.
and it has a lot of white, a lot of gray.
Sure does.
Does well in a little pot. It also spreads quickly, so you can divide it.
Okay.
Just have more plants to share with your friends. And when you grow it inside, it blooms.
Nice.
So outdoors in the summer, you're not going to see those blooms, but growing it indoors in about January or February or here in early March,
Those are
you get
neat.
to see those gorgeous
Yeah.
blooms. Very unlike anything else
wow.
that we grow. So that's something rewarding to me about growing
Yeah, that is
houseplants
pretty neat.
inside, is that over the winter you get to see those awesome, unusual blooms.
Pretty good.
So here's another one that is pretty new to me.
Okay.
Is this something you recognize?
It is not. It is not.
I just discovered this a few months ago.
Okay.
So this is a Ruellia Makoyana. Common name is monkey flower,
Yeah.
or spreading monkey plant.
Really?
Or trailing velvet vine, has a few fun,
Yeah, okay.
fun common names. This is related to our Ruellia, our
Yeah.
purple Ruellia.
Yeah, and I'm familiar with that. Okay.
The purple majesty
Yeah.
that gets about 3 feet tall, blooms purple all summer.
Yeah.
This is a winter bloomer, and it enjoys inside conditions, can't take a freeze at all. So if you grow it indoors, it's going to stay small, and it's going to surprise you with these really nice purple blooms
Yeah, those are
in
pretty.
January, February, early March. You know, just when you need some flowers
I would
in your
agree with
life,
that.
when we're inside and need some pretty flowers. Like I said, this one is new to me, and I'm really enjoying it.
That's good. Yeah, you're right about the flowers. Yeah, it's usually gray, kind of dark in the wintertime.
Right, and that little
brightens
pop
up
of
the place.
purple.
Yeah.
And the flowers, the foliage is variegated as well. Deep green foliage with a little silver line through it.
Nice.
I've used it already in a couple spots here in the glass house, and it's doing really nicely. Makes a real pretty ground cover.
Nice.
So I'm excited to share that with people who maybe don't know it as a houseplant yet.
It's going to be good.
Now, begonias. Do you grow begonias at home?
I do.
Okay.
I actually do.
Okay.
I can't tell you how successful I am, but I do
All right.
grow 'em. All right. Yeah.
Some of them are a little more difficult than others, but these are a few that are real easy that I'd like to recommend.
Okay.
This is the Beefsteak Begonia.
Yeah.
This is a popular one. A lot of people know it as Grandma's Begonia. They grew up with Grandma or great grandma growing it in their home. It's been around for a long time. It has these real pretty deep green leaves, with a red back to them, so that's a nice contrast. In winter, sends up these blooms. You don't think of them having blooms because most of the year it is just that foliage, but it's beautiful in January, February, sends up these tall blooms. Super easy to propagate, either from division or from cuttings or just from the leaves themselves.
Wow.
So that's part of why it's been popular for so many years. People propagate it, hand it down to their kids, their grandkids, their neighbors. Beefsteak Begonia, bright indirect light. I wouldn't put it in full sun, that's gonna burn it.
Yeah.
And it would like to dry out a bit in between waterings. Okay. But pretty easy. Old-fashioned standby plant. One that I like a lot, and it's experiencing a bit of a resurgence in popularity, which I think is well deserved.
Okay.
This is another begonia.
I think that's pretty cool. Yeah.
Isn't that neat?
Yeah.
So this is one I've come to appreciate lately. And begonias come in different styles. They come in cane types, they come in Rex begonia types, which are small. They come in rhizomatous types that develop little rhizomes that creep across the ground.
Okay.
Like I said, some are a little more difficult than others. This one has been really easy for me. This is a rhizomatous type, and maybe a cross between a Rex and a rhizomatous. It's called an eyelash begonia because it actually has little hairs around the edges that almost look like it's lined with little eyelashes.
I can see that.
And this one is so easy to grow from leaf cuttings. So I have a number of them planted here. I like to use them in containers. They should thrive in your home year-round. And they're not too picky about soil or water, just as long as you let them dry out a little bit in between. They don't want wet feet.
Okay.
But they do like bright light, bright indirect light. Full sun is going to burn them, but a bright indirect east north-facing window should do well for them. And as you start to pot them up, they'll get bigger. The leaves will get bigger. Those plants themselves will get bigger. They form a real nice-looking clump over time.
Yeah, those are very attractive leaves.
Very. I love it. And as it gets darker, that dark green turns almost blue.
Wow.
So it's neat to see a big one and see all the different shades that come in it. Now for another begonia, this is Sophie Cecile. And this is one of our cane types of begonias. So you can see it actually has a cane. It grows on a cane. This one is going to get tall. The stem almost looks like bamboo, the way that it's shaped with it has individual nodes, and some people think it really does look like a bamboo piece.
I can see that.
And this plant is going to end up getting about 3 to 5 feet tall and wide. You can keep it cut back. Real easy to keep it cut back and then stick the canes back in the pot or into a new pot. It gets these enormous leaves.
Yeah, those are nice.
Deep green, red undersides, silver markings. Just turns into a beautiful show-stopping plant with time. Again, no full sun. Full sun is going to burn the leaves.
Right.
But bright indirect light, water it well, and then let the top of the soil dry out before you water it again.
Okay. That is good. It's very attractive. Yeah.
Very pretty, very pretty. Contrasts nicely. I love all the different greens houseplants have, how they contrast against each other. A couple other plants I wanted to mention that we do grow here that are just excellent houseplants. Peace lily is a well-loved, well-enjoyed, and deservedly so. It's so easy. It's deep green, and it does have pretty white flowers. That's one that if you just can't help but water your plants every couple days, peace lily is a good choice because peace lily does like a lot of water, and it doesn't mind having wet feet, staying moist. Some people even grow peace lilies in the top of a fishbowl. So peace lily is a good option if you just can't help but water your plant all the time.
And you can have those forever. Yeah, my mom has a couple. She's had them forever.
Yeah, that makes a good pass-along plant too because they can live a very long time.
Okay.
Another great plant for this area is Croton. Crotons have been around a while. We know them for their super colorful leaves. And often around here, there are only a couple varieties available that are, Petra is a popular variety. It's orange and red, a little bit of yellow. But there are actually over 850 different named cultivated varieties of Crotons.
850?
At least. That have been selected. You find more of them in tropical parts of the world like Miami, South Florida. We do have a number of them here that you can see, ones I didn't know existed that really vary, and some are bright yellow, some have more of a pink to them. It's really neat, the different varieties of Crotons that are available.
And thinking about Crotons, I mean, you can plant those outdoors, can't you?
Yeah, you can put them outside in the summer. It makes a great choice to a container, like a sunny patio container. You'll often read that Crotons need shade. They actually love full sun. If you adjust them to full sun, then some of their best colors will show up in the full sun. Just be prepared, if you go right from shade to sun, they may burn a little bit. But if you move them gradually into sun, your Crotons can really thrive with that bright sunlight.
Good deal.
And the last houseplant I'd really like to promote is the Fiddle Leaf Fig, which has been so popular lately, and deservedly so, because it's a beautiful tall plant. It has leaves that are really fiddle shaped, just neat leaf. I hear some people struggle with them. They just don't do well in their homes. Sometimes that's from moving them around. They don't like to move. So they do have great big leaves, and they will adjust to wherever they are. So pick a spot you want it. It does need some light, but pick a spot where you want it, and then just let it sit there and get comfortable. They can even take full sun. If you have a full sunny window, you can stick a Fiddle Leaf Fig in that window, and it's going to adjust and get enormous leaves. We have one here that's over 35 years old. It was somebody's houseplant.
35 years old.
That's right. They donated it, and it has thrived here in its sunny environment. So
what about watering?
Oh, watering. Once a week, water it well. Let the water drain out the bottom. I would say don't water it again for another week. It's one that likes a lot of water, but it doesn't want to sit in water. So water it well, but then let it dry out again before you water it again.
Jill, that was good. I can tell you like all of these houseplants you talked about today.
I love plants. I get excited about them. I get excited about sharing them with other people. I get excited when I find something new and can tell somebody about, look at this cool thing I just found, didn't know existed.
Well, look, we appreciate you sharing this with us.
Of course.
So thank you much.
Happy to. You're welcome.